of the goodness of God. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Worthy is your name. Worthy is your name, Jesus. Lord, you deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your name. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your name. Somebody sing.
Worthy is your name.
Thank you for the cross,
Jesus.
Lord, you deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your name. Father, we thank you for the cross. Worthy is
Your name.
Jesus.
You deserve the praise.
You deserve the praise.
Worthy is your name.
Oh, worthy, worthy, Lord, worthy is. You deserve the praise. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Worthy
You
is
deserve it.
your
Worthy is your name. You deserve the praise.
You deserve
Oh, worthy is it. Worthy, worthy, Jesus, Lord, you deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your worthy, worthy, worthy is your name, Jesus.
you deserve the
You
praise.
deserve it, the praise.
Worthy is your
Oh, worthy is your name. Oh,
deserve.
you deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your name. Father, we thank you, Lord. Say, worthy is your name. You deserve it. You deserve it, Lord. Lord, you deserve it. Oh, worthy is your You deserve it, you deserve it, you deserve, you deserve it. Oh, worthy is your name. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your
Eyes, Value Optical Eyes. Get expert care for your eyes and really great eyes. This Easter at Value Optical, get a super 40% off frames, plus extra savings with the purchase of Supernova or Transition lenses. Enjoy these Easter savings until April 24th at all Value Optical stores. Special conditions apply. And really great eyes.
Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Finance Company Limited wishes to advise customers making mortgage payments over the counter that the tellers at all our offices will be open daily from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. To make payments online, book appointments, request letters, statements, documents, and access other services, please visit our online customer service center at ttmf-mortgages.com. TTMF, from here to home.
The deals are at East Side Plaza, located at number 32 Charlotte Street in Port of Spain. It's a sale on everything at all stores. Opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Everything from foodstuff, lunches, pottery, African wear, Christmas gift items, tailor services, hair salon services, and so much more. Everything means everything. Head into Port of Spain and check out East Side Plaza at number 32 Charlotte Street.
London, get ready! Pretty British, Brother J and Ali Berry presents Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. Drink your water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Saturday, April 16th at the Onyx venue, 27A Queensway, Bletchley, Milton Keynes, featuring the big man in the business, Iwer George.
Yes, and this is me, Iwer George, the big boss in the business. April 16th, Soca Madness Part 1. Yes, I'm going to be in London. I'm coming to shell it.
If I had one wish, mash up the bed. What the fuck can I mash up the bed? Shell on the bed. And Skinny Fabulous.
You know what I'm saying, yo, London, April 16th. It's all about the Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. I will be there.
Baby, your friend blinking bad. I'm the friend I'm thinking bad. Music by DTTP, Rigo Suave, the Stage Guard, Selector G, Survival Number 1, and DJ Winks. Tickets available on Eventbrite UK. Early bird tickets, £25 from March 6th. For more info, call Allison at 447588376951. Trini British 447404-050703. And Brother J 447508862718. Saturday, April 16th. Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. London, it's your turn.
Hi, I'm Google, and this Friday I will be having Kelvin Morris, the minority leader from the Tobago House of Assembly, on the street 919 FM, as we will be discussing Tobago's issues from 12:05 to 2 p.m. Come, let's talk Tobago.
Morning breeze, watching the day unfold.
Daddy said it was our special lover.
I told my granny, but she didn't help.
He was so nice when we talked online. I threw up again. I just can't sleep.
I failed my test. I missed school last week.
Now he wants pictures of my body. I have a right
To the feet, stop hurting me.
Please!
Don't keep child abuse a secret. If you see something, say something. Report it today at 996. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago and the European Union United Nations Spotlight Initiative.
Well.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion boarding at Kings Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy boarding at Breakfast Port of Spain or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, and 299-4227, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Pastor Hannah A. Parbu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19, verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
Police, today,
Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowpita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools.
Alright, thanks boss. Nah man. Granny,
Do you have $488 to lend, man?
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT. Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Hey, Dynamic Crew alongside Iwer George presents Soca Come. Featuring the boss himself, Iwer George. Iwer George. The boss man of Soca.
Yo, this is Iwer George, the big boss in the business, and I'm going to be in Grand Cinnamon on the 14th of April, Canada, for the 6th at Coventry.
It's all going down the 14th of April at the Grand Cinnamon Banquet and Convention Center, Toronto, 3895 McNichol Avenue, Toronto, Ontario, 9 p.m. till. Tickets are just $35. Get them now at ticketgateway.com. Hey, so all you link up, Dynamic Crew. It's all about Soca. Featuring Iwer George in concert.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The Titans of Democracy on the Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the street 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. Pleasant good morning going out to my entire family. Good morning to the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Romain, and their entire families. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on with us, it's always a pleasure to have you guys on the inside right here with us. Yes, and remember that we are live on the Street 919 FM's Facebook page, also on YouTube at Iwer TV live broadcast on the Street 919 FM. Yes, let me say good morning to my friends and family in Tobago. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are locked on. Pleasant good morning going on to the management and staff of the Street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iwer George and his entire family. Yes, so guys, at this time, we open up the lines for you to give your morning greetings. And after that, when Sharon comes in, we're going to get into the meat of the day. Also, we have a rebroadcast of the Prime Minister's speech last evening, so you've got to look out for that. So, 342-0081-466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, Bruce.
Morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
Very good to be in the land of the living.
Yeah, man.
God is always the boss. Morning to Sister Sharon. Morning to Dominic. And by extension, the Titans of Democracy. Morning to Trinbago. After listening to my Prime Minister last night, the statesman, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, I wonder what the other side really want. They distrust this country from the beginning, a time when they get into government. And we're still going through pressure with these people. The 40 thieves, oh gosh, I want nothing with them. They make the Guinness Book of Records too. Lockdown is beautiful, my brother.
Yeah,
Let me say morning to some of the callers, like Jenny, Mano, our constituency groom, Bartaria, Rowley, and everybody, Mommy Saul, Shak Lady, Miss Faizabad, locked on as usual, Mr. Chance. Get the rest of them a chance to call in, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Black King. You stay safe.
You too, man. Bless up.
Sharon. Of course.
Caller, good morning.
Morning has broken. Wake up. Morning, Bruce.
Morning, morning.
Our man, morning earlier. Good morning to Iwer. Happy belated birthday, Uma. Morning. Morning, Bartaria, Rowdy Jr., Jenny, good morning to you. Tyrell, good morning. Jackie and Jackie. Ashley, good morning. 85, good morning to you. Girlfriend and Miss Jean, good morning. Somebody else. Woman, oh God, yeah, I call you already. Malcolm and Gemma, Spice are bad. People are Bonnet Gardens and Mount Hope. Good morning. Morning, Vero. Good morning to Mr. Chance, and a still morning to you, brother. Good morning to everybody who listens to this. All people wake up and tell somebody that Bruce is on the air. It's a lovely day. Give something to somebody and say nothing. Let somebody know you love them. Shine a light in a dark place. You don't have to have a torchlight. You don't have to be dark to shine a light. Just give somebody something. Do something good for somebody. And we're okay. Love is the answer. Morning, Garden. Morning.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Diddy Titan, Sean. Morning, Dominic. Morning, Tabano. Mr. Basaria, Rowley Jr. Jerry, morning. Mommy. I would just want to say a very short prayer. Lord, please protect this country from traitors. Thank you very much, God. I'll appreciate it if you could give us the knowledge
to defeat the traitors. And morning to Dr. the Honorable T. Christopher Rowley. Sabatari are following the instructions, but taking a dictate, brother. Because that brother had a place nice, bro. Oh gosh, you see what happened? The enablers just making noise so that we do not enjoy all the goodness that we have right now. They are against happiness. And we had to tackle this treason, this person that's commit regularly against this country. You loading up the machinations and the moving parts of national security. And if you become Prime Minister, you're going to be the head of the Security Council. We mustn't take that chance. And I'm not talking to PNN people, I'm talking to UNC people. It will affect all the also. You heard what he said? When you side with evil, evil don't know no race, it don't know no money, it don't know nothing. Evil coming for you. So if you support evil, I'm speaking to the UNC people. It will come for you. Those only get tired. Everybody have a nice day. Keep good. Call back later.
Yeah, man. Bless. Let's see if I can pick up this call. Caller, good morning.
Brucey.
Hey, Malcolm.
Morning, brother.
Morning.
I did, brother. And I'm taking a little walk out in the gym this morning here, brother.
Nice, nice.
Let me say morning to everybody. Sharon, Mommy Sauce, Mano. Oh, Mano, got 1285. What's up, 1285? Mr. Napona, everybody. Barrier Taria. That's the man they're scared of. Good morning, everybody. So, Bruce, like, you have a little cold there, boy.
Boy, it's not even that cold now, boy. I think is that dust was from the worker doing home because it had no runny nose, it had no nothing.
Yeah, that's it, you know. I just get that kind of stuff sometimes. Your tongue stuffy a little bit, so. Try a little bush, brother.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So I locked on you and listening on the treadmill here, pumping a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Keeping fit. So you all have a good day. Yeah?
I see that's very good.
Yeah, that's the way to go, you know. Eat green and do a little exercise. Mano, get up and run around the block a little bit, brother. So everybody have a good day, and so I'm locked on and listening, brother.
Yeah, man. Take care. Bless.
You too, right? Bye-bye.
Caller, good morning.
Uncle Brucey, morning. How are you doing, man?
I did cool, man. Morning.
Hey, good to hear your voice. Yeah, you're really sounding like you have a little cold, man. Yeah, get some bush and clean up that shoot.
Real.
Yeah. We're not locked on really. I'm calling because I've seen you on the Facebook. So I just set up the call. So when Auntie Sharon comes, she should maybe call and get me hook up.
Nice.
All right, blessings. I'll talk when that time comes.
No problem.
Yes.
Good morning, Angie. Hope you have a good day today. Caller, good morning.
Bruce, just hold on. I'm going to pull out this side. I have something important to tell you here. One minute. Right, Bruce, and here is some, my brother. Remember every Easter, Tobago does have the thing with the singers and all of them in Tobago?
Right, yeah.
You know this year, Farley is telling people me not having that this year because they're looking to see how the finances going and all. Some stupid talk on the news, boy. Something we are accustomed to every Easter, listening to these singers sing and things. And people just go to Tobago for that. You know why these things happen? Because instead of they doing Tobago work, they down in Belmont and all these areas, they spreading the money down there, you know. In the East-West corridor, trying to get the East-West corridor, and they're not doing Tobago work. The money that they're supposed to be spending there, they're taking the money and spending it in Trinidad. And the people at Tobago ain't knowing these things happening, you know. It's a more to come, you know. That's why the money, they don't have the money to see about this thing, you know. Jazz is acting in Tobago, everybody accustomed to it. When Easter, you know that, Bruce, the world know that. Yeah. We love jazz in Tobago. It's not about the money sometimes, you know. This thing going worldwide. And you come and you fall off that and talking about you didn't have enough time and all kinds of stupidness. How the BNM used to make it work? How the NAR used to make it work? Who is Wally? Wally, them is a waste of time. And they know why that happened? Because we want whatever we own and pretty hate against Trinidad. And that's why we put them there to come doing all this foolishness in Tobago. If go out something like that, everybody know that. Have a blessed day. That get me so upset when I hear that this morning. This man, he a school teacher. Is a father there in Tobago? Have a blessed day.
Yeah, man, take care.
Call again. Good morning. Hi, Bruce. Good morning. Morning. I just have to exhale a little bit. We had Jazz Festival last year. It was under COVID. We didn't have Jazz Festival the year before. We now into the new year. You expect them to have Jazz Festival this year, boy? They didn't expect it to open up. So they have time to prepare for it. I just make call her. Yes, okay. But we didn't have Jazz for 2 years because of COVID. So how I come? If Easter is when next week, you expect them to prepare for our Jazz Festival to get international entertainers to come down here so quick? You have to put things in place. At the Carnival the end of the year, somewhere so the coming to the end of the year, come now man call her think now. We now come up from under lockdown. January was just how much months ago. You should have preparing for the place to open up the 4th, which was Monday. You expect them to have Jazz Festival all of a sudden just so. Come now man, call her man, think that man. Look out and listen, Bush.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Hey, morning, Big Bruce.
Morning.
Morning, brother. Let me say morning to Miss Sharon, to Sharon as well, too. And I think yesterday was Miss Uma birthday. I want to say happy, strong to Miss Uma, Prince Annie Grandi, and she husband, Olga, man. You know, a very, very humble lady. I met she in the Black Caucus. Very, very humble. Hey, long circle, I'm about to now call it. Finally, they fix that man will cover around the corner there with a barrel in Bruce, and they remove it a big hole before somebody fall along in there and damage yourself. I'll pass back there this week to see if the foot, because somebody think the man will cover now. One of the streets, and them here. I want to pass back and see if they sort out. Why, Bruce, someone tell us something here. See, Dr. Rowley is listening. Everybody feel Dr. Rowley listening, he listening, you know. And I heard him said that, he be listening, and he explained the potholes last night, right? And he said the problem is getting bitumen. It's very hard for them to get lake asphalt, Bruce. Because somebody with the refinery used to buy, lake asphalt used to buy bitumen from lake asphalt. And now the refinery is no more, that's how they used to make the money now. So basically they're going bankrupt, so they're trying to, rebrand the model and put a new model in lake asphalt to start to sustain its own self with the closure of the refinery, but the government getting problems in getting bitumen probably on the open market. So that is the problems, and that is what people, that's why they're going. We had to connect with the people and let them know. So that's the reason for the potholes and not the work that's being done, but they're trying to come with a new business model in lake asphalt so we could, because we had import that from Busi. So I'm hoping that sort out and the roads get sorted out. Dr. Rowley listening, and as he say, we can't focus on what's in Duke no more. We spend all our money to see how bad it is and the people then buy it. So now it's to focus on doing the work, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over. So we had to focus on him and focus on the work that we had to do to connect with the people and showing them the responsibility after the country. I hear the Tokos and the Grandi MP was down in the meeting last night there. That's real nice. I want to hear what's going up in Sandy Grandi, but that's crucial. Me and tell the party and what's not again. Bruce and Dominic, take it back. Bruce, sorry, and Chan, good morning, everybody.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
You see the dust mask, the mask that we're wearing, we got to continue wearing it. I'll tell you why. The Sahara dust is coming across. And that Sahara, if you want to know how dirty that Sahara dust is, if you have a car or you have watch any vehicle, watch the windscreen, the back and the front, when the morning comes, you see the dust from overnight with the dew falling on it. So this mask that we wear is a very good thing. For years I've been watching that, and sometimes when you look at the mountain, traveling from south or going to south, you see the whole, you can't see the mountain, you can't see south, and we are within that dust. So that dust gets into your lungs, you understand? We're breathing that dust, we're eating that dust, you understand? And it affects me. So right now, it's coming across, and we're supposed to wear the mask to protect ourselves. And the best thing for the cold is herbs. It can't be herbs. Bush don't kill you. Bushes get you better. And bushes heal inside of you. The things that bush will do to you, you understand? The drugstore medicine wouldn't do that. So we have to go with herbs. Those keep your body clean. Any kind of herb. Carry a kid. Anything you get, drink any bush you get, just drink that. That will clean up inside. Have a good day, my brother.
Yeah, man. Take care. Bless. Caller, good morning.
A blessed love to you, Mr. Bruce Wayne, and your family this morning.
Morning.
Thank the Lord for being again in the land of the living and bringing you safely in Jesus' name. Yes, blessed love to my Sharon Felix too and her family. Blessed love to the Titans family. Blessed love to, oh God, help me, Mr. Bruce Wayne, your next co-worker there, the guy.
Dominic.
Dominic, I tell you, I always forget Dominic. Yes, blessed love to him. Forbidden the Dominic. Yes. Blessed love to Mr. Chance. Blessed love to Mano. Blessed love to Angie. Mommy Sauce. Iwer. Olga. Each and everyone else of the Titans. Blessed love. My surroundings, Passy Street, Mova, Beatham, Tumacac, Paradise Heights, all rest of surrounding Trinidad and Tobago, Yvette and her sister, blessed love to them in Tobago. So let us keep the faith always, and Dr. Rowley and his family, blessed love. Can't forget them. Iwer George and his family, blessed love. Right? So Mr. Bruceman, thank you for having me here once more again, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay?
Take care.
Okay, you too.
Caller, good morning. Hello, morning.
Morning, Lucy.
Morning.
I listened to the caller just now and talking about time too short for Jazz Festival in Tobago. What was Juke doing down in Trinidad, walking from house to house and trying to make a bacchanal in the East corridor? That is what he should talk about, not what Jazz Festival. That is what he should talk about, the bacchanal, what was Juke from house to house in the East corridor. That is what he's doing right now. He went by Rona, my friend, and they run him. Okay.
Something here, I don't want to believe is that I see him now. Oh, I will call somebody. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Dominic. I was listening to Dr. Rowley last night. What a powerful message. And I'm seeing the trolls on that same chat here with the Dr. Rowley. And they just hate. They're not listening to what he was saying. And a lot of people didn't know, and Dominic had talked about it, the potholes, what we need, and we have a pitch lake, how we have so many holes in the road, but they're not listening. It's just a hate. Because I'm seeing there, he always talking nonsense and he's this and he's that, but they're not seeing the good that the PNM is doing, all the different programs. Some people even refuse to listen. I have some friends, they say, I'm not listening to him, it's the same old foolishness. But when you don't listen, you would not learn. They can't, that's what they're not listening. So they just listen to Kamala and have foolishness and the lies. And when she puts out these things on Monday, you plant a seed there of the lies. And people go away with that. And they would not listen now to what Dr. Rowley is saying. To say, listen, what she is saying is not correct. So and so is the case. I'm going to show you this. And they're not listening. They're just going to vote a party and not the country. I don't understand how these people, Kamala called and she wants sanction. Now, if you put sanction on Trinidad, it's not going to affect the PNM only. It's all of us. UNC, PNM, PDP. Why you can't understand that? He explained that by the ships, the boats for Tobago and for the Coast Guard. You all don't understand that she's blocking. She's not about the country. She's about the party and how much money Dr. Rowley and his party save. And praise God that he put them there at this time. Because if it was UNC with this virus, according to you people, crap will smoke we pipe. Have a good day.
You too, my dear.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. So hold just a sec for me. I'll be right back. Caller, good morning.
A blessed morning to you, Mr. Bruce Wayne.
Morning, my brother. Morning.
Morning, Mr. Antilix. Dominic called, the student callers, all who are live. Mr. Bruce,
oui.
Lemon, even though Lemon is Mr. Lemon, a little water, you was a little olive oil, that is for just for anything pathogens within the system, and you're good to go. Even the bush tea and all them things, you was a but right now, a little lemon water, early in the morning before anything else, and a little olive oil, you're good to go. That's the bush tea and thing. But I got a good laugh yesterday morning. The opposition leader said the government spying on her. Please, Miss Kamala, what the government could spy on you for? You have no good advice, nothing at all, no solutions. There's only problems with all your opposition. And you're talking about spying. I tell you, Bruce, I laughed it out yesterday. But the biggest joke I get, the government spying on the opposition. What is the government can spy on the opposition for? Any advice? Any solution for what's going on? There's more problems. Thank you very much, Bruce.
Yeah, man. So welcome back. Just had to get a little information there because I saw something that was very disturbing. Life, one day here, the next day and not, and that's so sad. So guys, at this time I'm going to get into the papers for today. So headlines in the Express. It's no secret. Minister Cummings confirms family business operates on Carney lands. Every creed and race can find an equal place. Excitement over Tobago Carnival. PM receives blackout report. So let's get on the inside and see what's taking place. So, loving Miss Molly. If it wasn't for World War II, Augustine Tardier would likely have been the fabulously rich owner of a large portion of Scotland Bay Chagaramas. Instead, he was about 10 years old. Tardier's family was evicted from almost 400 acres of land, compensated in pittance, and encouraged to leave at gunpoint so the Americans could build their base in preparation for the Nazi advance. A bit of history there. Paddock vaccine site closes for Black's public funeral. The mass vaccination site at the Paddock Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain, will be closed today for the hosting of the funeral service for soca artist Black's Dexter Stewart. It's no secret. Some people do not subscribe to the words of the national anthem. Every creed and race can find an equal place, Youth Development Minister Foster Cummings said yesterday. Schoolgirl 15 dies after beating. A 15-year-old schoolgirl died at the Couva District Health Facility on Tuesday afternoon after she was allegedly beaten by a male relative. Police warns about online romance scams. The police service has issued a warning about becoming swindled by online romance scams. Man charged with sex crimes against a 14-year-old. A man on 14 sexual offenses against a 14-year-old girl appeared virtually before the Port of Spain court on Monday. Alicia is missing. 15-year-old Alicia George is missing. Firearms found by police. 4 charge face magistrate. Man on 6 charges denied bail. Coast Guard tows vessel to shallow waters so divers can search for survivors. Crowds rush to Cora and October Carnival. So these are the stories that are making way in the Express. So I'll start the news day, but we'll go to the break and then I'll continue. Views differ on James' appointment to Studley Park Board. Rowley refutes Kamla's state-sponsored spine claims. THA, 2 new hotels coming to Tobago. Cummings, Carney land deal above board. It's my family's business. Hospital services available in Roxborough. Winston Duke's Batman Unburied audio series to release on May 3rd. Kamla, what is real reason behind bringing back Clarence? Agriculture Ministry to probe claims public turned away from Wildflower Park. Right. Gopi Schoon, businesses have shown remarkable resilience. Prime Minister receives report on massive February blackout. Scrap dealers increase exports, call for regulation. TTMA head, give manufacturers enabling environment. Hines on spying claims, Kamala just wants to remain relevant. Mom of girl found dead in Gasparilla pool. I left her playing with a toy car in her room. What? Ja, boy. So guys, hold a sec. We go to the break and we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
To the Street 919 FM for the program The Final Hour with Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr. and his wife Nikki Garcia for the Bible study every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mark chapter 16 verse 15 says, "Go into all the world and preach this gospel for every creature, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation."
Get ready! Pretty British, Brother J, and Ali Berry presents Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. Drink your water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Saturday, April 16th at the Onyx venue, 27A Queensway, Bletchley, Milton Keynes, featuring the big man in the business, Iwer George.
Yes, and this is me, Iwer George, the big boss in the business. April 16th, Soca Madness Part 1. Yes, I'm going to be in London. I'm coming to shell it.
Skinny Fabulous.
You know what I'm saying, yo, London, April 16th. It's all about the Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. I will be there.
Music by DTTP, Rigo Suave, The Stage God, Selector G, Survival #1, and DJ Wins. Tickets available on Eventbrite UK. Early bird tickets, £25 from March 6th. For more info, call Allison at 447588376951. Trini British 447404-050703. And Brother J 447508-862. 718, Saturday, April 16th. Caribbean Soca Madness, Part 1. London, it's your turn. Are you ready?
John chapter 8, verse 32 says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Tune in to the Street 91.9 FM every Tuesday from 6:30 to 7 p.m. for the program Walking in Truth with me, Pastor Gary Grant from Walking in the Spirit Ministries. Come, let's discuss how Christ Jesus can set you free. God bless you.
If your hands are anointed, and if your feet are anointed,
catch plenty savings this Lenten season in Extra Foods Plenty for 20. Swiss pasta cuts 5 for $20. Gala apples 10 for $20. Quaker instant quick oats 5 for $20. Mama ramen noodles 10 for $20. Sunshine choco gems 8 for $20. Caribbean flavors coconut milk powder 5 for $20. Biscuit cookies 13 for $20, and so much more. Sale ends April 11th. And check us out on Facebook and Instagram for even more specials. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Well. Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion boarding at Kings Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy boarding at Breakfast Port of Spain or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, and 299-4227, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the old-time gospel hour all-night prayer. This and every Friday evening on the Street 919 FM from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, "He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God." Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795-222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. Don't know.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the Street 919 FM. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me." John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot
detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
From the studio to the stage, every Friday between 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the street 919 FM. Radio you can see. Log on to our Facebook and YouTube so you can see live interviews and performances from some of our very own local superstars. Right here on the street 919 FM. Shop at New City Mall and check out our premium selection of high-quality clothing and accessories for men and women. Save on all items with competitive prices and courteous service throughout the entire mall. New City Mall is located in the heart of Port of Spain with entrances at 3 Charlotte Street and number 41 Independence Square. We offer a variety of shirts, long and short sleeve, round and V-neck tops, vests, caps, hats, sunglasses, briefs, boxers, shorts, swim trunks, denim, jeans, long and 3/4, socks, sneakers, casual and athletic, shoes, dressy and fashionable, dresses, formal and casual, skirts, lingerie, undergarments, and a wide range of accessories. Come check us out as we also have clothing and accessories like Levi's, Clarks, Armani Exchange, Hollister, American Eagle, Ralph Lauren, Nike Air Force and Air Max, Puma, Adidas, Timberland, Academics, Aeropostale, Old Navy, Forever 21, Hanes, Dockers, Guess, Converse, and so much more. We have barbers, hairstylists, as well as weave and wigs on sale. All at New City Mall. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Sale, sale, sale.
Eyes, Value Optical Eyes. Get expert care for your eyes and really great eyes. This Easter at Value Optical, get a super 40% off frames, plus extra savings with the purchase of Supernova or Transition lenses. Enjoy these Easter savings until April 24th at all Value Optical stores. Special conditions apply. And really great buys.
Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Hey, Dynamic Crew alongside Iwer George presents Soca Come. Featuring the boss himself, Iwer George. Iwer George. The boss man of Soca.
Yo, this is Iwer George, the big boss in the business, and I'm going to be in Grand Cinnamon on the 14th of April, Canada, forward the 6th. I come in
It's all going down the 14th of April at the Grand Cinnamon Banquet and Convention Center, Toronto, 3895 McNichol Avenue, Toronto, Ontario. 9 p.m. till. Tickets are just $35. Get them now at ticketgateway.com. Hey, so all your link up Dynamic Crew. It's all about Soca. Featuring Iwer George in concert.
Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back. Continuing in the papers, in the Newsday to be exact, Chief Sec, too many THA staff in acting positions. Princess Tong man denied bail on gun shooting charges. Funeral plans underway for Debe crash victim. No Tobago Jazz 2022 says THA Chief Sec. Drainage Division South workers complain of lack of PPE. Bushfire destroys Aruka house. Ex-UTT lecturer loses claim for $300,000. And these are the stories that are making way in the Newsday. Over to the Guardian. Headlines in the Guardian. Spyware for criminals. PM to Kamala. Spyware is for the criminal element. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has rubbished claims by the opposition United National Congress that the government has been spying on citizens. Girl 15 dies after fall downstairs during beating by relative. A man remained in police custody up to last night after a close female he was allegedly beating fell down a flight of steps and subsequently died. Former UTT lecturer loses lawsuit over being made redundant. PM gets report on island-wide outage. Great-grandmother of girl who drowned in pool urges more parental caution. Swim school urges vigilance during holidays, offers child safety tips. Relatives concerned about long detention of man without charge. Parents of Rosalak Hindu pupils protest for new school. Former Petrotrin workers again demand pension plan benefits. Former mayor says no issue with Sinclair Medical Car Park. CXC transforming into more digitally cohesive organization. Excitement builds over Tobago Carnival. Hines declines comment on Kamala's spy claims. Wife of missing cargo vessel captain clings to hope. Cummings, I'm a victim of propaganda and lies. Woman recounts escaping from abusive relationship. Mother wants financial help for ailing daughter. PM receives report. Okay, we read that already. And these are the stories that are making way in the Guardian, the Express, and the Newsday. So guys, I'll quickly open up the lines because at 7:30 I will start the rebroadcast of the Prime Minister's speech from last evening. So what I'll do is in the meantime, I'm going to open up the lines, take some of your calls, and you can vent a bit. All right, so you can call me at 342-0081, 466-5391. Those are the numbers to call. You can call me up. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, Bruce. Morning.
Yeah, man.
Bruce, I want to ask a question to the children authority. Because there's a 16-year-old girl who stole her father's car key, her grandfather's car key, went and copied it, took his car. Now, the man used his car to pull his little bull and things. He do these little pies and these sort of things. Took his car, unknown to him, go and drive the car and crash the car. So I want to find out from the Children Authority what is that grandfather supposed to do. Because, I mean, I hear this morning about somebody is correct in action and spend long a step and die. That's a different thing. But I want to find out what the people do. Because they are telling you cannot correct children. You can't even talk hard or loud enough to that child. It's an offense according to the Children Authority. So I want to find out what is that poor man supposed to do. You understand? With his granddaughter who stole his key, copy it. Because she knows what she's doing, you know. She copy it. Stole his car while he was sleeping and go and damage it. What is he supposed to do? Because in Trinidad and Tobago, you have reached a point where you can't correct children, as the Europeans and the Americans used to do. It's our parents who go across there used to correct their children and them. Well, you can't do it no more because we are following the American way of life. So that's what I want to ask the question this morning. Have a good day, my brother.
Okay, take care. Interesting. Three 342-00814665391. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce.
Morning.
All the callers and listeners are 91.9, Mr. Charles Wallace, everybody, Manu, Sawamal, everybody. So what the gentleman just said there's a reason why there are two children court in this country, one on Elizabeth Street, Sinclair, and there's one in Faisabad, I think. What the grandfather has to do is to make a report through the Children Authority, and the police will get involved. And what will happen, that will be sent to the children's court, because that court deals with the children until they're age 18. At that court, there is just like a normal court, but it's just that is for children, and they have the process that is there. The child will attend the court. There is a judge there with everybody, and it will have children of her age or his age who will decide what type of, well, they don't call it punishment, but what type of constructive, if you want to put it that, programs could be used to help this child, and then the judge will look it over, make sure that it's legal, it's done properly, and then it becomes law. So it could be that the child, 16 years old, will have to do restitution to the grandfather, may have to go and take classes to show the effects of when you get an accident, you take a car and you get an accident, whatever it is, that will be worked out there, and the child will go through that whole process. If the behavior continues, of course, with a repeat and all that, but once the child hits 18, that child will have to go to the court for adults. But there's the children court, and a whole system is there to treat with that. So it's not that you can punish children anymore, but you can take it to the appropriate place, and that child will be assigned either a social worker, whatever it is, and that will go through the court system, but the children court. And there's a very good process here, and we have to thank the Chief Justice, because this is the only Caribbean country that has two courts that is dedicated to children and the restoration and the whole, changing of behavior, conciliation, mediation, and all that happens at that court there. So the grandfather could look into that. All is not lost. Okay, thanks.
Thanks for the info. So we continue to take your calls. Call me up 342-0081-466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Hello, morning, Bruce.
Good morning, my dear. How are you this morning?
Hi, dear.
Nice.
And how are you going otherwise? You alone there?
Yes.
Okay. Sharon, morning. Mommy Sauce, Manu, Itaikong. Morning, Chak lady. Everybody morning, and have a blessed morning. Okay?
Yes, my dear.
I wanted to know, they say all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago had to go back and sign their life certificate. But they announced it over the radio, but they didn't say what time and what.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know if Miss Cox hear me. They do announce it and say when you could go and sign.
Okay.
Yeah, because due to the pandemic, they did stop it. So they started back. You know?
All right.
Okay, then.
All right, then, no
Have
problem.
a blessed morning.
You too, my dear. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Caller, good morning. I lost it. Call me back. Caller, good morning.
Morning again to you, Bruce.
Yeah, man.
I just, listening as usual, and what the lady was saying. Well, they tell people to come on the 1st April to sign. And when you go to these places to sign, they tell them you come back next year. You have to sign the 15th of April. They're telling you can't sign this year. You have to come next year. So I don't know where all this thing is really about. They're telling the public one thing and they're doing something else down in our Wranglers there. It ain't easy. They're wasting people's time.
All right.
It's not easy, but we have to get we act together in this country. The opposition just as bad. The worst.
342-00814665391. Let me also shout out and say good morning to everyone locked on via Facebook and YouTube. Good morning to each and every one of you. Caller, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Bruce?
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
Hey, good. My fingers tired, boy. Hey, morning, Malcolm. I hear Malcolm this morning. Morning, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, is everything good? I hear everybody giving the nice comments. I think it's for everybody Toronto here locked on. Hey, Bruce.
Oui.
I have a problem with opposition leader, boy. Listen, when something is for the state, and this is national security you're dealing with here. This lady called Mrs. Kabla Pusab always come out. I don't know where she gets her information from, but she's coming out and putting these things out in the public domain. This is national security. This is supposed to be confidential. Do you know if this lady was in Canada here in the United States, she'd be in charge for, she would have been charged, or if she was in the Congress, she would have been put on the Congress for this kind of thing, for leaking information like that? You remember when she was Prime Minister, what she did? She went over, she came back, and she announced at the airport that they tried this, Manning have been spying on this one and that one and that one and that one. She came back with the same revelation now. Trinidad and Tobago, this lady is a very dangerous woman for Trinidad and Tobago. She's dangerous. And if you guys want for me to put back this woman in office, this is what I'm going to get from this woman. She do not care about Trinidad and Tobago, none of them. Not even Coon Moonilal, all of them do not care about Trinidad and Tobago. All they care about is their pocket. Their pocket they care about. They don't care about people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is what she's doing. She's damaging all the institutions in Trinidad and Tobago. She's trying to damage it.
But thank God we have a standard bearer, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines and Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, who's standing in her way, but she can't escape these things. First it was Muslim trying to kill her. How kind of stupid is this lady is dangerous, I'm telling all you. And furthermore, I feel she's suffering from some kind of mental illness or something. I don't know. But this woman is not fit for office anymore. Bruce and Dr. Listen, good program.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Bless.
We have just about a few minutes again. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bruce.
Morning.
Morning to each and every one. Titans of democracy. Bruce, anybody, when you come into election, vote for these people. It's a bunch of stupid people. Do this. Take white boss. Because nobody will put that in to run to Trinidad boy. That's how I'm saying. And I went and signing from a life certificate the 1st of April 1. And they told me I have to come back. Like the usual time I already signed, like in November. I have to come back at that time.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But have a blessed day, brother.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Good.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dane. Morning, Aaron.
Morning.
Oh, God, have mercy. Where Dane? What about Dane?
I don't know. I guess he okay.
Oh, God, my mind running on Dane. You don't hear? But morning, Dane, wherever you is. For the 15 general election, I may know about nobody, but I know them. You saw them people. They used to bring papers and throw it over your yard. I don't know if you know what that.
No.
Oh God, call it day now. Yes, they used to throw it over your yard, Bruce.
Okay.
Yes, that's for 15 election. They used to come and throw it. Other people used to come and throw it over your. If you're at home, they're throwing it over your gate, your pencil. I don't know if anybody know about that. And Mr. Oh God, I see they showing Foster coming house. Who could not go by? Everybody could not go by the opposition leader, but you are and shooting and thinking house. Man, you can't say everything, then, but Lord, Father, have mercy. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I could probably take another call. Caller, good morning.
Brucey.
Morning.
I'm calling again. I hear it have a set of them trying to see if they could get Aisha off the radio. But I don't know what is the reason. You understand? A whole set of them, that is what they're trying to do right now. They're reporting us to different places to see if they could get off the radio. But I don't know what it is really going on. Okay?
Them can't do that, man. They could try their best. But that ain't happening.
True. God is in control.
Sure,
you
right.
understand? And once God is in control, not once, he's always in control. And I know he's watching Aisha back. Okay?
Yes, my dear.
Yeah.
So at this time, I will be playing back the Prime Minister's speech from last evening. So keep it locked. We'll be right back. Just trying to sort the feed out here now, so just bear with us.
Somebody touch me, somebody touch my soul. While I was praying, praise me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul. Somebody touch me, somebody touch me, somebody touch my soul. Somebody praise me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul.
Life too sweet, I can't complain. The only constant is the change, and we go touch the road again. So as long as they call my name, then I will answer. I'm a happy camper, and love is my sponsor. Oh, and as long as I'm man of life, then I will answer. No time for no anger, I'm smiling with my hands up. Yeah.
Somebody touch me, somebody touch me, somebody touch my soul. Somebody praise to me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul. All right, Jacob Martin, all right. I'll tell you what, right? Meet me in the Savannah next year. Thank you very much, Diego Martin. And as usual, we welcome all our visitors into the West. I would like particularly to welcome, not for the first, and certainly won't be the last, our Deputy Political Leader from San Fernando, Mrs. Joan Yule Williams. Other party officers, all my cabinet colleagues, I'm pleased to see you out in your numbers here tonight, members of the Senate, members of the councils. I see the chairman of the Diego Martin Corporation is here, ensuring that he's a gracious host. And of course, I see our MP from all the way from the eastern end of the country, the Member of Parliament for Toko Sangrandi. This only happens when the PNM gets together, and all voluntary. All voluntary. And I also see our newest minister, Member of Parliament, the Senator in the Ministry of Agriculture, Minister Nigel De Freitas is here with us. And of course, if I may identify the hard-working minister who is dealing with foreign affairs, the Minister of Patience, is he? So, fellow citizens who are listening wherever you are, and those of you following us abroad, welcome to this PNM informational gathering. I'm here tonight to support my two colleagues who have given a good account of themselves and an account of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, running a country is not easy. Running this country is not easy. But we didn't sign up for an easy job. We signed up to deal with whatever the situation is. What Minister Imbert mentioned there about the state of affairs it didn't come to us as any great surprise. It is because of that situation why a government that had 29 seats, we had 12. And when the election was called, they were put out of office and we were handed the job. We were handed the tiller of this ship, the great ship Trinidad and Tobago, and we had to take it out to sea against the currents, against the wind, because we couldn't allow our country to run on the rocks. So if you hear them talking about what a wonderful time, they're now talking about the golden age of the UNC. Could you imagine that? 29 seats, the first call the population have, they ask you to get out. And they're now hoping that the population forgets. But tonight is not a night to talk about them. That will come. Tonight is a night to talk about us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You see, they have a habit. Everybody knows Monday morning is very slow for the news media. So they call a press conference on Sunday, talk some foolishness, tell some lie, and feed the media that for Monday. That is the flavor of the first few days of the week. And then they're on again Monday night, where nobody in this country has been able to ask the opposition leader a question for her to answer it for the last how many years? When was the last time the media in this country was able to ask the opposition leader a question and expect an answer from her? She hides behind a screen and makes the most ridiculous statements on an ongoing basis, hoping to poison the atmosphere in Trinidad and Tobago. But to do that, you have to prime yourself with something. The very latest, and I don't want to spend much of my time tonight on that because I didn't come here for that. That time will come. But I must respond as chairman of the National Security Council of Trinidad and Tobago, a democratic nation in the Commonwealth of Nations, governing our country under law. I tonight must respond to Mrs. Kamla Persad Bissesa, a former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, now the leader of the opposition, who paints up her face, puts on her nighty clothes, goes behind a screen and tells the world that the government of Trinidad and Tobago, which I lead, is spying on the entire population. She has identified, she has named the security services, she received it, she said, and she went on to name virtually every category of persons in Trinidad and Tobago, claiming that you are being spied upon by the government. So all of a sudden, Trinidad and Tobago is North Korea. And why will she do that? And not for the first time, and I want to remind Trinidad and Tobago, that was the opposition version of it. There was a prime ministerial version of that. When she came into office in 2010, one of the first things she did was to destroy the security system of this country by alleging that she was being spied upon. She instructed them to bring the files to her home. And the end result of that is that 20 of our best trained intelligence officers were fired. Brigadier Joseph was in charge of the SIA at the time. He was fired summarily. She spoke publicly in the airport and accused him of personally spying on her. Because she had information, she fired him. You, the taxpayers, had to pay millions of dollars for that. And the 20 officers who they fired, you had to pay for that too. The bottom line is, it was all a lie. Lie. But it's sensational. And the media loves it because the media does not question them and ask them, where is the iota of evidence to support those widespread allegations? You go on and tell the judiciary that my government spying on the judiciary, on magistrates. Pray tell, what would the government be spying on magistrates to find out? Tell me. Magistrates, taxi drivers, and Faris they're now the greatest defender of Faris. Have you noticed that? Faris. They're so upset that I am spying on Faris. I could tell you something though, because the population might want to know what fit of madness has caused this. There's a danger in this country at the moment. I could tell you all something else too. As Prime Minister, like Basdio Pandey was, like Patrick Manning was, like Eric Williams was, there are things that will come to you in the course of your duty as leader of a country that you will have to keep to yourself for the rest of your life. That goes with the territory. In the United States, there's a law called an Official Secrets Act, where if you breach it, you can go to some serious jail. Most countries have that. We don't have that here, but most countries have it. Because a state, in protecting what is in effect the state, you require on an ongoing basis to be concerned about the security of the state. So you have machinery, personnel, and equipment to equip the state to know what is happening to the state, what is threatening the state, so you could defend the state. Today's technological age, where you could do all kinds of things. Before I came down here, I was at my computer working just about half an hour before I ran away to come down here. My little grandson came with his iPad, and he's taking a picture of me and he's hiding behind his iPad. And when I looked up and I grabbed him to see what he was doing, there was a picture of me that he took and converted me into some strange character on his iPad. If you see this thing, I said, and tells me I'm going to post this. I said, you will do no such thing. He's 7 years old. Every criminal in this country is an expert with a cell phone. Every bandit in the prison, law or no law, is in contact with some lawyer outside. And Mrs. Prasad Bissessa knows these difficulties, and because she was a prime minister, I was in my office in Diego Martin. She called me, and she have a way of calling people on their first name like you and she's friend, eh? Foster, you do latest. Foster, everything Foster. She calls me in my office. Kid, I want to come to... They're coming to assassinate me. I said, what are you talking about? You remember that story? She called me in my office in a panic to tell me that, and sent officer. I said, well, I have to get that from the police because you don't sound corpus mentis. You know. She sent Officer Richardson to come and tell me that. And when I asked him, so who is behind this? He told me Muslims. That was going on in this country, you know. That was going on in this country. This is the country where you wake up one morning and you hear Baka take over the country, you remember that? This is the country where you woke up one morning and you heard the army has mutinied and they're on the way to Port of Spain. Captain Bloom and one ship changed this country's history. You remember those stories? And today in this technological world, if the government has bought equipment for the SSA to be able to know what the gang leaders and the criminals are doing in this country because they do it on the phone, the best tool for the criminals in this country, anywhere in the world for that matter, is that cell phone system. So Ms. Prasad Bissessa wants us to stay out of that. Leave it for the gang leaders. Leave it for the prisoners. We come to the parliament to pass a law to make it illegal for you to be communicating with prisoners in the prison. They wouldn't support it. I could tell you, because Mr. Hines knows and I know, a significant number of the murders in this country are hits called from inside the prison. You clean the prison up one evening, by next morning, it's full of cell phones again. Come on, Mrs. Pascal knows that. So why does she come here and try to tell the country that if the SSA has equipment to be able to be on the ball like every other country, in being able to have information to protect the state, why would she come and lie to the country and say it is the government doing that to spy on everybody? What the hell are you doing that you're afraid that the government would know? If you are a legal, law-abiding citizen, you don't have that paranoia. Only the criminals have that concern. And I'm not surprised that she is so upset because she is leading a handful of criminals around this country who the police looking for, and she don't want to know, and she don't want them to have any capacity. And I could tell you who was behind that, but not tonight. Let me go to talk to you about what I could talk to you about. As I told you earlier on, I came here to talk to you about the country's business. And I told you we came into office to solve problems. There are a few days of festivities like Carnival, and I welcome the Tobago Carnival, and I hope that I'm not saying the last time I see you come to Tobago, they say I create all kind of problems. But I'm saying, welcome to Tobago Carnival to the calendar. And of course, most things that the government has to do are problems. Problems to be solved by governmental action. There are very few actions that the government will take in this country that will find favor with everybody. We love our West Indies cricket. Pick a team. And then you know all of a sudden, wrong batsman, wrong bowler, wrong captain, wrong coach. That's how it is. We came here to solve problems. And let me just run through some of the problems that we have engaged. I picked 25. Let me just run through them for you so that you will know what has been engaging your government. We came in and we met a huge problem at Petrotrin, threatening to bankrupt the country, get us downgraded, and do all kind of problems to us. Not that it started with us, It's been on for a long time. Company was without a proper future, aiming to lose billions of dollars, have to write off billions in debt. Everything that was bad about it, that had to be dealt with. This government of yours dealt with the Petrotrin problem. We made $2.7 billion available to 5,000 workers to go home with. Even casual workers were on the list to get special financial support. We created 2 companies that have been successful so far. Heritage and Paria, doing very well. They are profitable. We dealt with that. It didn't please everybody. It will never, because some people live by talking about Petrotrin. They live by doing that. And every now and then they take a breath to call a march. That was number 1. We are currently engaged in trying to deal with lake asphalt. Because I don't know if you know that lake asphalt, the pitch lake, it has a body of workers, it's a state company, but it is funded by the Ministry of Finance. They had $200 million in the bank. But if you keep spending it going out and nothing coming in, what happens? And of course, one of the problems in this country right now is potholes. You know why all these potholes around the country? There's a period of time from Tobago to wherever you can't get bitumen to pave the roads. Can't get it. Not being produced here. Can't be imported because of the business model. We are dealing with that. The cabinet has put lake asphalt in the Ministry of Works and has put a committee in place with NIDCO acting as the operating agency to create a new business model for lake asphalt to make it sustainable, to make it profitable, to make it a contributor from the lake and from other parts. What was happening before is that lake asphalt was being supported by selling bitumen from Petrotrin. So once the refinery was closed down, all of a sudden, the lake asphalt company had no revenue stream. And of course, to pay the workers, the Ministry of Finance has to provide every 3 months or so a certain amount of millions of dollars. How long can that go on for? We're going to fix that. And we're going to create something sustainable in the La Brea area for the La Brea people, for the country of Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to fix that. Those of you from San Fernando, how many decades have you heard about the San Fernando waterfront project? I invite all of you in San Fernando, around San Fernando and Tobago, go down to San Fernando and see the waterfront project under construction. San Fernando is being rebuilt from the sea inwards. Underway. The Point Fortin Highway, where they removed the contract document clause the day before the election to allow the contractor to go away with $921 million. And when she jumps out every Monday night or every Sunday to talk foolishness, the one thing Mrs. Prasad Bisesa has never engaged in this country is to account for $921 million that her government allowed the contractor to go away with. Her way of dealing with that is just not to mention it at all. But of course, she has time to ball. Is him but first. Is Stewart, is Faris, is Guaido, is Police Service Commission, is AV Oil, is Rowley Apartment, is Alan Warner, but not a word about the $921 million that somebody removed a clause in her government contract to allow a bankrupt contractor to go away with $921 million. And they're busy out there now handing out jersey and trying to form new political alliance and so on. I want to say to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, tonight, if they succeed in what they are engaged in now, when they get you again, they're going to do it to you again. That's all I could tell you. Because the Ethiopian does not change his skin, nor the leopard his spots. All they want is another opportunity. We told you we have to upgrade the road to Toko from Sandy Grande. Go out there now, it's underway. Construction of 3 or 4 contracts out there, the road is being upgraded. It's happening. There was one time when we were promising it. When it was coming, it is happening now. The upgrade of the road to Toko. Traffic in Chaguanas, you can't go east, west, north, and south. We started on a ring road project to take traffic around Chaguanas. One piece has been completed. There's more to be done. We are on the road there. We are on the project. It is happening. Trying to leave Kirep to go south. You couldn't cross the highway. The Kirep overpass is in place. You don't even think about it anymore. You drive below it and you pass. Oh man, that was being built for $540 million. We built it for $219 million. And you need to ask yourself, where was that extra $300 million going? It's there. And we are in the process now of moving on to the next overpass further up at Macoya, because we committed to build the overpasses until we get to the airport where you can drive from Port of Spain to the airport without stopping at any traffic light. We are doing it bit by bit, increment by increment. That's how we're doing it. And of course, they spent 2 years talking about the Tobago ferry. After they run the ferries down to the bottom of the ocean, we couldn't insure them, we couldn't repair them. They themselves, who did that? For 2 years they were talking about the ferry, 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 the ferry. Well, we said we will solve the problem. We told you so. We rented boats, we leased ferries, and in the end, we bought our own ferries. And today, Tobago and Trinidad, between us, we have two of the most modern ferries in the world. The APT James and the Buko Reef, that ferry story has been solved. We now have capacity on Easter coming up here of almost 2,000 persons per trip of each boat. And those boats can go back and forth if we choose to. That problem has been solved. It costs $1 billion because they cost $500 million a piece. But we found the funding and we bought them. While you're looking for the funding, those who are complaining about the state of the ferries between our islands, they wrote to the government of Australia, the opposition in Australia, tried to get them to prevent the loan. They wrote to the Attorney General attempting to accuse me and Malcolm Turnbull of corruption in getting Australian funding for those ferries. That is what they are good at. Accusation, accusation, accusation. And the Bible says, he who is without sin, cast the first stone. She carrying a boulder, you know. So, that ferry story is dealt with. The people who are now in charge of Tobago, they have claimed, and I hope that they succeed, that they want a record number of tourist arrivals into Tobago. I think the figure is 18,000 passengers, something like that. Record number of passengers. With the current low number of passengers, the current airport facility that we had there couldn't manage it. We did a two-step arrangement there. First, we upgraded what is there now. Go to Tobago now and you'll find an upgraded facility there now. And while that is going on, we are building a new airport terminal building. How you could want to increase the passenger arrival to the kind of level you're talking about, but you don't have the physical facility to handle them. We are putting the physical facility in place in the expectation that they will succeed. And I could tell you, when we funded CAL during the pandemic, because like other things, we carried CAL, the Minister of Finance carried CAL during the pandemic, you know. They made some adjustments, but they stayed a viable, and the minute the pandemic gave us an ease, our airline was back in the air. But I told CAL's board at the time, the taxpayers, especially the ones from Tobago, they are holding you alive during this pandemic. But we want something out of you. We cannot tolerate any longer that we have a tourism product in Tobago trying to sell it to the world, paying outside airline to bring passengers and empty seats to our Tobago. And our own airline does not fly to Tobago. CAL has been instructed to put in arrangement New York to Tobago non-stop if you have to. The taxpayers want that. And in my dealings with CAL, I am told that within a month they will announce something to that effect, that CAL can be able to fly from New York to Tobago, because CAL is going to St. Lucia, it's going to Barbados, but not going to Tobago. Our own airline not going to Tobago. I could never understand that. So I'm saying to all of you and to all of us, if we have an airline, it must fly to Tobago under some condition that we are going to look out for. And of course, during the period, just before the pandemic, we built, this government, this PNM government, last administration, we built 3 hospitals, Arima, Point Fortin, and Roxborough. They're there now, they're there. Remember when the Brian Lara Stadium was said to be Manning's Folly, and it was a bad place, the soil wasn't good, and the grass couldn't grow, and this couldn't happen, and they left it there for 5 years. They teeth out everything that wasn't concrete. The night when we opened the Brian Lara Stadium, they came in the yellow, what do you call it, 90, and tried to block the highway. Thousands of persons who were on their way to that opening couldn't get there because the UNC blocked the highway to create mayhem. And those who got inside from the UNC, they went and stuffed jersey down in the toilet to block it for it to flood. You remember that story? Today, the Brian Lara Stadium is one of the finest functioning cricket facilities in the world. And we hosted the best party in cricket. It's now famous for that, 3 years in a row. They've gone to Guyana now for 3 years, and hopefully they'll come back to Trinidad and Tobago for the finals. This year we're having games in Trinidad, hopefully. Not the finals, but we're going to have probably some games. And the minister is hinting that if she's successful in getting that done, we might even have a game down here in Diego Martin where the most highly acclaimed new venue in cricket, you should have heard the commentary on the Diego Martin Stadium when we hosted the Under-19 World Cup here. But of course, when you were building that, they were in the parliament making noise about corruption on the contractor. They wanted to do what they did down in their constituency, pay the contractor $200 million for 8 concrete blocks to sit on. Walk with your own cushion. Ladies and gentlemen, we solved that. When we came in, we met the parliament. 15 years have scaffolding around it. Moving like Miss Howard Cat from place to place with the parliament. We met our legacy buildings on Queen's Park West, the Magnificent Seven, falling apart. One group of engineers told us we'll have to pull down Millfleur because Millfleur has gone beyond recall. It was such a heartbreaking piece of advice that I said, we can't take that advice just so. Let's get a second piece of advice from the Cubans. The Cubans came, and I want to thank the Cuban government for getting involved. The Cubans came and they said we could save it. Look at Millfleur tonight. All 7 in tip-top condition to make a nation proud, and President's House to go with it. I could tell you, when I went to President's House as Prime Minister, there were truckloads of garbage inside President's House. Before we could begin working there, we had to remove truckloads of garbage, like the Labas had moved. Today, I could tell you, as a proud nation, we can go to President's House and have national functions, and we can feel like an independent nation, and our President's office is worthy of the title. And from QRC, where the children couldn't go in the hall, because you're walking outside, you see in the outside, you didn't know children couldn't pass through the hall because it was dangerous. Under UDCOT, in my portfolio, I ensure that money was spent, and it was spent on those and not going to contractors' pockets unnecessarily. And every single one was completed properly, and today we have saved our legacy. I can tell you, the famous library in Port of Spain, where Dr. Williams and Dr. Basil Matthews had those seminal discourse. It was there, trees were growing in the roof. You could make a timber on top there. It was falling apart. Taxpayers, you have spent the money, UDCOT has done it, the building is repaired, and I'm hoping to be able to have it operational in time for independence as an Eric Williams Memorial Library. And this was something that I had an agreement with the last government for, you know. When we had our anniversary, and I asked, could you not do that? Instead of doing that, went another fete inside Woodford Square. But we are different. Having spent the money on it, we have saved the legacy. We are creating in Port of Spain heritage sites. So when you invite people to come from cruise ships or to come as visitors, you have something to interest and to offer them. We have done that. The Parliament. Our Parliament is finished and functioning. One of the proudest buildings in the nation. The Parliament, they were awarded a contract for God alone knows how many $100 million. We approached it differently. Instead of giving one contractor some $600 or $700 or $800 million to do, we broke it up into 18 or 20 contracts and had contractors compete for every portion. And we brought that in close to the budget. Today, both chambers of the Parliament can function at the same time. And as a citizen, you can be proud to go in there or to see it on television or to just pass along the road and say, this is our parliament. It is such a fantastic building in use, no more scaffolding, and no contractor would have stolen your money. I can tell you, they talk about crime and criminality. You've got to make the police comfortable where they're operating from. We built police stations in Shervan, two of the finest police stations in the country and Tobago. Shervan and Roxborough. We built Maracas St. Joseph, Besson Street, Carenage. So we were building up the infrastructure from which the police will function. And of course, down at Tetron Stobles Bay, only recently the cabinet has cleared and authorized construction to solve some of the long-standing problems down there, not the least of which is the sewage problem. Do you believe that? A problem with sewage, unattended, while a contractor could be allowed to go away with $921 million, and I have to listen to these people giving me advice now, and holding themselves out as some savior in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, the border porous, the border porous. After they shut down the OPVs, take back the money, disappear it, use the helicopter as some party pram, the same border that the Venezuelans are coming through. Porous. That phrase became so hip. Everybody, porous border, porous border, porous border, porous border. We got from the same Australians, using the same funding arrangement, we got built in Australia two of the finest offshore patrol vessels that this country needs. They are out there working now. They are out there now. We couldn't buy one because if you buy one, whenever it comes in for maintenance, you have none. But if you have two, there are times when both could be out, and there are times when one could be in and one could be out. I could tell you, our country is in a much better position now with those vessels because they are built for a particular purpose. They have a 28-day endurance. When they leave port, they can go out there and stay out there for a month without having to come back in. So when they're out there, they can be close to us. They could be as far out as the oil rigs, 60 miles or 70 miles out. They could be Tobago. They could be in the Gulf of Paria. They could be in the Columbus Channel. And of course, once you have that capability, you have the edge on those who will come into our country, picking and choosing when they want to come. We are in a much better position today. And when we were flooded by Venezuelans leaving their country to come here, what did the government do? For the first time in the history of the country, Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago, for the first time, we put Venezuelans on visas. But if there are people who insist that they're not going to use the visa system to apply to get permission to come in, and they will come into every nook and cranny, we said we register those who are here, and those who are unregistered will repatriate you. Unfortunately, some people still keep coming and risking their lives, and we've had tragedies. Oh Lord, the day of the tragedy, the UNC jumping up and down, I have been accused of killing Venezuelans who drown in their own water. People who unfortunately drown in Venezuelan coastal waters on their way to Trinidad, I'm accused of being responsible for that. And of course, they undermine every single aspect of our foreign policy while they're out of government. The same people who are now advising us on foreign policy as if they know something about it. One of the first things I had to do as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago was to get on a plane and go to Jamaica and eat humble pie and apologize for the conduct of Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa because Jamaicans were about to boycott Trinidad and Tobago's goods. Jamaica is our largest market. When Vincico said that they were going to boycott Trinidad and Tobago products, that would have caused mass unemployment in Trinidad, because a lot of those who are employed in manufacturing in Trinidad, they are manufacturing for the Jamaican market. And because of the behavior of that Prime Minister, they annoyed the Jamaicans and we were facing a boycott. Fortunately for Trinidad and Tobago, when I got to Jamaica, a large chunk of the Jamaican cabinet were colleagues of mine from UWI in the days when I was at UWI. From the speaker down were people that I knew at the Central University, at the Mona campus. I had to sit there and I took Prakash Ramada with me. That put an end to Hido. Because he came on the trip, right? He came on the trip and he wasn't supposed to do that. So he disappeared. He only appeared recently because somebody drunk. I had to sit there with 14 Jamaican ministers, right? Smoke coming out their ears about Trinidad and Tobago's behavior. And now I have to listen to them telling me about foreign policy. Hurricane in St. Lucia, they tell them, okay, if you all want help, you'll have to buy our goods to get help. That was their foreign policy. And of course, the Americans wanted regime change in Venezuela, and Trinidad and Tobago jump in and get involved. They want President Guaido too. And everything this government does, they're undermining it. We are talking about not going down that road because it makes no sense. Europe giving Venezuela 8 days for the government to leave office. They're going down that road and appointing President Guaido. Tonight I want to ask the UNC and Mr. Kamala Prasad, Bisesa and Doppy, where is President Guaido? Where? And our media here is so very convenient, but we know the PNM is held to a higher standard. A higher standard. If a PNM opposition had done that, the media would be on our case every Sunday, every commentator, all of them. But you take our country publicly down a road supporting somebody who's not even in the parliament of Venezuela and agreeing with the Americans that they should be on the OAS executive. And you, writing the American embassy, asking them to sanction Rowley and Stuart Young because we allow the vice president of Venezuela to come to Trinidad. We allowed the vice president to come to Trinidad. So we should be sanctioned by a foreign power. And then the foreign power itself come to Caracas. And when we said we will speak to the government that the UN acknowledges in Caracas, because we stay with the UN principle and under the UN Charter, they're still undermining us with the President Guaido foolishness. And then when the Americans wanted to talk to Venezuela, who they went to talk to in Venezuela? They sent a delegation to Venezuela to talk to the UNC. And of course, the minute somebody say that Trinidad and Tobago falling apart, oh my Lord, that was music to their ears. Music to their ears. So we've been getting the job done. Tonight you heard from Foster, the latest infatuation of the opposition leader. You heard about youth camps tonight. Not promises of youth camps. He told you what is being done. That Ministry of Youth Development and National Service and the Ministry of Rural Development, they were not accidental ministries. They were there for a purpose, and we are working through them and with them to address these specific problems. One, the local government structure as part of our governance, and the other one, dealing with that body of our citizenry, those young people who need guidance, who need help, who need opportunity, who need to be the best that they could be if they get the right guidance and the right opportunities. That's what we're doing. And that didn't happen. When we got into government, we created those administrative arrangements to focus on them because we have come to solve problems. And then, of course, there's a lot of people with money home in pan, in barrel, cartoon box with camphor. You got up one day, I could tell you tonight, it took us 2 years, and by us I mean 3 people. For 2 years, there were 3 people in this country who knew that the government would do what we did with respect to the demonetizing of the old $100 bills. And when we announced it, it was a surprise because it has to be a surprise. If it was known to Tom, Dick, and Harry, they would have known what to do about it. And I have no doubt that some of them did something about it, because I keep hearing about people who were changing money and how much they were changing it for and how much discount they were giving. But at the end of the demonetization, $500 million did not come back into the central bank. It means that you, the taxpayer who was robbed in the beginning by the robbers, you had $500 million to give them if they had come to exchange it. But they couldn't come to exchange it. So the $500 million is now yours. Profit. And you may recall, when we did that, it took 2 years. And when we announced it, they were, oh, you have to print the money, it's done. You have to get, it's done. Call the bank and tell them they're closing tomorrow, Friday. They will get the money on Sunday and the opening on Monday. And when you come on Monday, your clients will have a new $100 bill. It went like clockwork. It was the smoothest and most successful demonetization that we know of anywhere in the world. And it had to happen because we knew what was going on, and we said, by the hook, the crook, or the devil fork stick, that will have to end. Have to end. $500 million couldn't come back into the bank. And they have no shame, you know. They're pretending that that didn't happen. And what they were concerned about is that it's taking place at the worst time, Christmas time, when people are shopping. It was the best time, because all these shoppers wanted the new money. Because they're always predicting doom, gloom, and disaster. And it's so they've been wrong every time. Every time. So, ladies and gentlemen, during this PM period, we have never sent home one gazetted public servant. Not one. You heard the Minister of Finance speak about borrowing $16 billion. Some we took out of the heritage, some we borrowed from banks to ensure that we did not use the reduction of people's opportunity. We, in the most difficult of period, we had confidence in Trinidad and Tobago. When everybody say all fall down, we say no. We will rise again. And there's no shame in being down. The disgrace is when you refuse to try to get up. And we had confidence that the time will come under this government in this country where that debt will be manageable and not frightening. You heard tonight from the Minister of Finance that because of the improvement in our economy, our debt to GDP ratio is in fact one that is quite good, and our reserves are still quite good. We had go-to columnists who were telling us since 2015 the answer to our problem that the Minister of Finance mentioned here tonight, including calling me. I was out of the country sometime in May of that year, May of 2016. The Minister of Finance called me to tell me the way things have gone. It's now 8 months we're in office, and what we've been struggling with, it appears as though we will not be able to pay salaries at the end of May of 2016. I want to ask all of you public servants, wherever you are, You know you got paid at the end of May 2016? Was your money late? Were you not paid? Eh? And for the entire period that we have been in office, public servants have been paid religiously, regularly, every month. And unlike some of our Caribbean neighbors, for whom the IMF told, first item of business, cut the public service by huge amounts, we said we are not going for any IMF instructions. We will make and take our own medicine, and we have been doing that. You even have some parliamentary colleague of mine. I want to ask the Prime Minister if his government is following IMF prescriptions for Trinidad and Tobago. Boy, I told you we're not following any IMF prescription. Any prescription you see is the Trinidad and Tobago prescription for the Trinidad and Tobago problem. And then last week, I was telling you about one who was screaming about the new AG and his status, screaming at the top of his voice. All of a sudden, screaming to the top of your voice is a physical disability. And accusing me of mocking Wade Mark's screaming disability. Well, I gotta tell you, I must tell you, if I knew Wade Mark had a disability, I would not touch it. Because the only disability I know that he has is that he comes to Parliament on a regular basis trying to bust a mark, and most times he's lying, and he's the only speaker in any Commonwealth Parliament who had to appease the Parliament by apologizing for lying to the Parliament as Speaker of the Parliament. That is Wade Mark. Every Sunday night they have something to come with. Imagine, I have 2 professional daughters and a professional wife, and me. Granted, I work for the government, right? And one of the big issues of the UNC that going on and on and on political platform with documents. These are the documents, I find them. You know what documents are? The documents are from the Registrar General's office, public documents, you know. Anybody who was idle or drunk could go there and find it. Because Rowley buy an apartment in Tobago and they purchase an apartment in Tobago. You know what shocked them? It was purchased. It was purchased. You had to be a kind of jackass to be Prime Minister and purchasing an apartment when contractor could build your house for you. A particular contractor built a house. When the owner of the house and occupant of the house was asked, how you on nothing chops and no money could build this? He said, I built it from cucumber and pumpkin. Famous pumpkin house in Tobago. The other one was living in a bungalow in Siparia. And all her life. The minute she became Prime Minister, mansion in Philippines, the contractor had to paint off his name off his equipment, and then the day after election, the contractor left this country in a hurry and never set foot back in this country. That contractor has left $170 million in equipment in the court because we took them to court for taxpayers' money that was jumping up in their steel band. Who contractor in this Trinidad and Tobago working for a government will walk away from $170 million in equipment and never set foot back in the country? And while these are the facts of the tenure of Kamla Prasad Bisesa and all those around her, including those from Tobago who now in Trinidad, come. They are hoping that you forget what I'm telling you here. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the facts, F-A-X. are the lives we've lived. These are the people they're still there, hoping to come back into government to repeat what they have done. And you are welcome to have them anytime. Anytime you want them, they are available there for you. You could have a government that could do what they have done and pretend that it didn't happen. You know, let me tell a little story. I had a girlfriend. She told me she had a boyfriend. He took her to a fete. And when they got to the fete, he met another girl, and he spent the entire party dancing with that girl and kissing her. When the party was over, he was carrying this girl home. And the girl said to him, "How you could do that?" He said, "Well, do what?" He said, "How you could bring me here and do what you do that?" And he said, "Me?" She said, "Yeah, I watched you for the whole night kissing this girl and dancing in front of me." The man said, "Me?" She said, and she felt so good when the man said that he didn't do that. So he dropped her home and he left. And after he left, she then said to herself, "Why going mad?" When the man came back the following morning to visit her, she said, "You see, you don't come back here. You want me to go mad. Because I see you with my own eyes. And you come and tell me you didn't do it, and I feel good when you tell me that you want me to go mad." Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC crowd think all you're stupid, or they want all you to go mad. Because they are trying to tell you what happened in this country did not happen. And unfortunately, very many of you are falling for that foolishness. I could tell you something. This is year number 7 in my tenure, my second tenure as Prime Minister. Not a minister in my government has ever had anything to do with talking to the police for anything that happened in my government. Not one. Not one. And if tomorrow one of them go and get police business on their back, they're on their own. On their own with that. But I've told every one of them, don't fall in love with office, because any day, like your life, you could lose it. I've also told them, be brave in handling the business of Trinidad and Tobago. There are times when you'll have to take risks that it may not work out. But as long as you could explain it to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and give a good explanation that your intention was right and clean and honorable, the people of this country will stand with you. And I, as your leader, will stand with you and defend you. But if you are dishonest and you give up your integrity to join the others, well then, stay with your new friends. I'm not surprised that some of them are coming together. Coming together. And we're hearing now that the PNM is in trouble because they're coming together. It's not the PNM in trouble. It's Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago. But I've seen it. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the electorate. We have managed this country, you heard the Minister of Finance tonight, on significantly reduced revenues and reducing revenues. But the best thing that we have been able to do was to hold this country and its economy and its people together through rough weather, through difficult times. Hold it together with the confidence that after the storm there will be good weather. And then come COVID. Let me tell you, I brought some notes here because one of them, who I have sent my lawyer to have a conversation with him, which we'll have in an air-conditioned building somewhere. He, like the rest of the UNC, is carrying this narrative of lies, not one of appreciation. Because one of the problems with this country, all of us, Johnny King, who I taught Calypso as well, sang a Calypso called Appreciation. This country is not good at that. Not good at that. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes even when we know, we don't want to acknowledge that we have got help. We convert that situation into entitlement for which you are being wronged. Let me tell you, this one, who shall remain nameless, go on in front press conference to talk about people starving in this country. And it is their starvation that is driving the criminal anger. Starvation, eh? Hungry man. You're so hungry. Buy the most expensive gun and kill as many people as you can. You can't eat none. Right? Let me tell you what our Ministry of Social Development has been doing over and above what the Minister of Finance talk about there. During fiscal 21, which is the last fiscal year that ended September 30th last year, right? So we could look back now on that year 21, the year of the pandemic raging. 108,716 pensioners under the category Senior Citizens Pension. They got $4,590 million in cash from the government. That was last year alone. During the pandemic, and before, and even now, as we're still in the pandemic, we have not cut $1 in reduction in any of the social intervention projects, not one. So every pensioner was still getting the pension, and the Minister of Finance will tell you the number of people on old age pension has been increasing exponentially. And we do know that we have some fraud in there. But that will be for another day. But on top of that, another 107,275 persons got so far between October and now, half year, $2.469 billion. So for the last 18 months, those who are in the category qualified for old age pension would have got over $7.5 billion in cash. And then, of course, there's another 17,000 people, 17,784 who get public assistance. They might not be, or they're not old enough to get old age pension, but they need help. Almost 18,000 of them. They got $350 million. And another 17,000 in 2022. They're getting help to the tune of $176 million. If you are in a situation where you have an adult who has a disability and therefore cannot go out and fend for him or herself, we have 25,320 of those persons. They last year got $621 million. And so far this year, they got another $281 million. Does that sound to you like a country that is not doing anything or enough for its people who need help? And those are adults, eh? There are also some children who need help because they have disabilities. Disability assistance for minors, giving each one $22,572 a year. That's another $53 million helping those children. And so far for this year, another $33 million going in that direction. And the Minister of Finance has to find all these millions and billions at the end of every month, because the way, if you're late, you will know about it and I will know about it. But then, of course, all these hundreds of thousands, there's no voice saying, I am being supported, I am being helped. But you have that one in the parliament who's looking for a conversation to try and propel himself into a seat somewhere, accusing this country of not being caring for those who are least able to look after themselves. Another $11 million in something called general assistance, urgent temporary help, food support grant. 32,080 persons benefited from the food support grant to a tune of $215,865. So far for the year, $106 million with food support. And of course, you have minor house repairs, sanitary plumbing, electrical wiring for those people who are destitute and or almost destitute and can't find the finance to do it. If you qualify, you get that kind of help. But let me come specifically to COVID. Because I hear my friends say that when they come back to office in the north, that they are going to have a commission of inquiry, right? They're going to have we fighting to save lives. We fighting to save youth. They want commission of inquiry, right? And let me tell you what they will meet. For persons who are retrenched, terminated or experienced reduced income, the Minister of Finance in the middle of COVID made provision to help them with finances with cash grants. March 2021, exactly 1 year ago, that first tranche of payment for those persons, $347 million. That helped 178,000 people. June 2021, a further 3.4 million went in there. And of course, we didn't only do it through the government. We partnered with faith-based organizations. They provided additional food support aimed at assisting families in providing food to vulnerable families. 81,000 hampers and food vouchers went out to 45,000 families. That's how we kept body and soul in homes together during the COVID. And while that was going on, the government was doing this on your behalf with your money. The opposition was out there attacking left, right, and center. First, COVID is a hoax. Then COVID can be cured by sunlight. The government shouldn't be doing that. And you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be closing this. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't shut down bars. And of course, when the government wasn't taking them on and we were doing what had to be done to save your life, they started to attack the nurses, the doctors. They're in the courthouse. I am told there are about 60 cases that went to the court. They lost every one. But they were trying to distract the government. I mean, they even have a doctor coming on the platform attacking his colleagues. In the end, they started blaming the government for having the same doctors at the beginning as we have in the end, and that was causing the deaths in the hospital, attacking the clinical service, and they want an inquiry. Well, today, I received the report for the inquiry into the blackout, and a few weeks ago, I received the inquiry from the specialist doctors who went into the hospital because the doctors were being accused of being incompetent or uncaring in treating with COVID patients, and saying that that was the cause of the deaths. In a situation where about 5 or 6 million people have died around the world, every single country in the world. In fact, is this weekend? A number of planes are now grounded because airline staff in the UK are so sick with COVID that they can't come out to work the plane. They don't have enough workers to fly the planes. COVID is still carrying on. In Bergamo, they had so much people died in that town, they had to bring in the army to help them handle coffins. But in Trinidad and Tobago, the UNC, you all recall when the first person died in this country from COVID? Who made that announcement? It was the opposition leader, the town crier, who violated every protocol with respect to the demise of a patient in a hospital. The family didn't know, but the opposition leader who have her tentacles all over the place like a ghoul. She knew that somebody had died and indecently went and made an announcement about it as though the government, and they eventually said it was the government that had killed the person. I could tell you there are horses for courses. And this Trinidad and Tobago, you had a horse called Rushan Parashram, cool like cucumber. They couldn't deal with it at all. A better public servant for the occasion we could not have asked for. And the team he had around him, it was your public servants from the Ministry of Health that guided us through the COVID. And for that, the Minister of Finance the Minister of Health should be drawn and quartered. He should be fired, because as far as they're concerned, thieving government money, he shouldn't be fired. But I know they got fired for that. And of course, you could find yourself before the court to answer serious criminal charges, but you are an advisor to them. Understand? And of course, you could get COVID and walk about the whole of Port of Spain with it, and then come on a platform and attack the doctors and the nurses who are risking their lives in the wards to save other people's lives. That's why I had to block him off the phone. I want to hear nothing from you. Ladies and gentlemen, this country has been doing a lot. Market boxes from Namdefco, an idea that we started out saying, listen, if we get fresh food to houses, that money will go to the farmers. The farmers will get the benefit of that market, and those who are home will get the benefit of good, healthy, fresh food. Ladies and gentlemen, we gave 41 constituencies, we even involved the MPs. 41 constituencies, $13 million, 24,999 people. There was one MP from Baratara who didn't even know that his constituents were getting hundreds of hampers, come to the parliament to try and score political points. Had to be told, hey, your constituents are being served. Didn't even know that. I could go on and on tonight, but I don't have to, because I know you got the message. What you have in Trinidad and Tobago is a government that is dealing with the problems. We are in the parliament now. You heard today or yesterday or whatever that the opposition leader got her nonsense. And I could tell you it's nonsense, because I'm chairman of the National Security Council. I want to tell you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that spying story is all rubbish, fed into the air of a willing participant coming from you know where. And of course, one of the first things we took to the parliament, given the level of corruption and bold-facedness and brazenness that was taking place during their tenure, we say all of this could not go on without somebody knowing who is doing what. So we're going to put a law in place to encourage people who know that there's wrongdoing to come forward if they're so inclined and be protected by law and tell you what is happening with respect to corruption in this country. Many countries have a whistleblower legislation. Many countries, we don't have it. We go to the parliament and put it there. It goes to committee. They wouldn't take any part in the committee, because as far as they're concerned, we're not supporting that. I am not surprised. You ever heard Turkey voting for Thanksgiving? You ever heard that? So they're not voting for it. But of course, when she wants to come and make mischief, she comes and says, a whistleblower told her. And that was sufficient for her to go and scandalize the country and say the government is spying on all Tom, Dick and Harry and Faris. We, for decades, have been talking about local government reform. We've studied it. We consulted about it. We talked about it. We elected over it. We are at the stage now where a joint select committee report in the parliament has come before the parliament to be passed into law after due consideration. This opposition wants no part of it. Because they have taken a position that they will support nothing that the government is doing for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, even if it means trying to save your life in a pandemic. They will not support that. So we have crafted the law to move it along in such a way that it can be passed with our 22 votes. We might have been able to make it a bit stronger here or a little different there, but if you interfere with the Constitution in certain provisions, you will require their vote, and they have said, as you have seen, and they told you up front, we are not supporting it. So we are going to pass local government reform in the way that you, the people, have enabled us to pass it. You have given us 22 votes. We are going to pass it, not offending the Constitution, but advancing the legislation with a simple majority. And for those of you who hear them talking about it going to court because we didn't use a special majority, hogwash. Because the law that we are going to pass is not offending certain aspects of the Constitution, a special majority is not required. It is only required if you have in the law certain provisions that interfere with certain entrenched fundamental rights in the Constitution. And since they are not going to support it, we went back and adjusted the law to put only enough that our votes could pass. If you had given us enough votes, like you gave them, she had 29 seats in the parliament, you get up in this room and tell me what they did. Except raid the treasury, enrich themselves and their friends. You tell me what they did during that period. They didn't maintain the ferries. They didn't pay for the offshore vehicles. They didn't buy motorbikes for the police. They didn't build the police station. They tell you to build schools, 100 schools. They awarded 100 contracts. That's what they did. And when we came in, we met contractors with claims. I'll tell you about one claim. In a state company, a contractor certified claims $53 million. We dug our heels in and said we're not paying that. The judge will have to make us pay that. They settled for $5 million. 53 million, they settled for 5. That should tell you all you need to know. And if you had only voted for them in 2015, Curep Interchange would have been built for $300 million more. And you would have been none the wiser, except that you would say, that is what happens in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank God that is not happening in Trinidad and Tobago. In advancing our local government, we got the Diego Martin Corporation came to the government with a resolution saying that they want borough status. We've heard you, and it is going to happen. It wasn't only Diego Martin, Siparia did the same thing too. Well, they're busy now trying to undo the vote that Siparia made to have borough status. We went to Siparia during our local government election and told the people of Siparia that the next 2 communities that would be elevated to borough in this country was Siparia and Diego Martin. And we are proceeding. We are proceeding. Because we are not going to be sidetracked or distracted by those people who have questions to answer for their stewardship. You will have to deal with that, not us. We in government, we have to deal with the problems that affect you and are there standing in your way. But in terms of who will be the government of Trinidad and Tobago, you will have to decide that, and we will cross that bridge when we come to it. We're not on that bridge now, and we're not crossing any bridge now. We are fixing the problems of this country, and you're better off for that. You better offer that. You see, when they told us that they had settled the Clico problem and all was well and fine, when we came into office, this Minister of Finance found that there was $15 billion still outside there. And the Clico principals were saying that the government must come off the board and they're not signing the IOU and la 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 la, encouraged by certain people who are voices in this country. Well, I led my government to the court. I don't have courthouse closed, but I send people with courthouse closed. And we told them, if you don't cooperate with the government for taxpayers' money that you have in your asset base, we will put you into bankruptcy. We went to the court, and in 15 minutes, a receiver was appointed. And the taxpayers got back billions of dollars from those who otherwise would have been in control and owning it. And if you hear them talk, you figure they're talking for you, they were talking for themselves. But today, the Minister of Finance has created the National Investment Fund. There are almost 800 citizens who have bonds in that fund. The bonds have been bought, backed by $800 million in assets. 8,000 people are the shareholders. When, if it was left to them alone, it would have been the little private clique, and they would have escaped the debt that they owe to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. What more do we have to do to tell you that we are operating in your interests? Eh? Here are the kind of numbers I'm talking about, you know. $15 billion that we have saved from going in the wrong direction or into the wrong pocket. $8 billion backing the NIF, where we have already collected $4 billion in cash, which we were never going to get our hand on if we were left to them. And you think that they're easy? I said that the contracts that we were using for the companies to pay us for the gas that they were taking out of our country, they have contracts, sacred contracts. The phrase is sanctity of contracts. But I said, as this country's #1 salesman, I want to talk to those who are doing that. And I went to the boardrooms of the oil companies and raised with them how uneven the yoke was, where only their shareholders were benefiting, and they were using mechanisms unknown to us to get more than their fair share. And some of them agreed. And without interfering with the contracts, they repaid to Trinidad and Tobago $2.7 billion in cash. I tell you this so you could know how you got paid, public servants. How we were able to buy medicine for the hospital, and you know what happens if one drug is missing. You know, the health system collapse. As a matter of fact, it's collapse. Throughout the pandemic, you hear about the health system collapse. It collapsed. I could tell you, our health system was resilient, our staff was professional, the government was on the job, and we came through a pandemic, and thank God we are all alive. By the few who have died, and we are saddened that we've lost almost 4,000 people, but in a pandemic, the vast majority of people in this country followed the government's guidance, and we took our ship to shore. They don't want to hear that. Earthquake in this country, powerful earthquake. I was scared that the central block would have collapsed in the Port of Spain General Hospital. That building was condemned in 2009. 5 years of UNC, they did not fix a crack in the building. We have set about to build a new central block in the Port of Spain General Hospital, our main hospital in our capital city. There are some difficulties there now with the contractor, and we are trying to solve those difficulties, but the contract is underway. That's what we have done. As I speak to you now, the Ministry of Health head office in Queen's Park East has reached the top floor. In a matter of months, that building will be finished, And for the first time in Port of Spain, the Ministry of Health will have its own building and not renting from anybody. And we would have done that during our pandemic. You see, and it's not only big things we've done, you know. It's the whole spectrum. Go see the people of Laventil in their pool. Go see the people of Morva in their pool. Go see the people of Maloney in their pool. And of course, I tell you all of this because another night I will tell you how we have reduced the personnel costs. But tonight I could tell you, we did all of this with a cabinet, 23 people. The last government had 33 ministers. Just saving dollars and cents alone, 10 ministers less. Somebody didn't with a penny. Right? But they were there. But we were in fact reducing the cost of operation. And the phrase that we followed to the T is doing more with less. And following the commandments as laid down by our Maker, thou shalt not steal. So ladies and gentlemen, our country is resilient. Our country is strong. Our country is a place to be proud of. And we love this country. And that is why we'll always say, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall prevail.
Somebody touch me. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch my soul. Yeah. Somebody praise to me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch my soul. While I was praying, praise to me, Jesus. Somebody touch my soul.
Hey, follow the band, girl. I said follow the band. Simple. Hey. One and one is two, that is me and you. I come here to do what I have to do. Come here to lie, come here to wine, come here to get something off my mind. She done buy she grocery, she can wait to wait.